Hello and welcome to Astro Talks. Today we have with us Mr. Rajiv Ahuja. Rajiv is currently leading the charter as executive director at RVL Bank. Phenomenal experience that he has got almost 25 years in financial services industry and leading different charters across different organizations. So just to give you a little bit of sense of what Rajiv has done. So he is a pass out from SRCC and IIM Ahmedabad, and post that he has been leading different functions. He was MD of investor sales at Citibank, and post that he has been with RBL for a long haul. So welcome Rajiv to Escrow Talks, and the idea is to understand more on professional side and also understand as understand you as a person. How have you been through all these professional journeys, and what is your experience like? First things first, I'll start with the first question, which is knowing more about you. So what is your journey like in the last 35 years? And I mean, you have seen different organizations, coming up, going down, and a lot of trajectories that you have witnessed within RBL, outside the organizations. So how these roles have shaped your approach, in terms of leadership at RBL Bank? Over to you, sir.
So, Amit, thank you so much. First of all, it's a pleasure to be part of this podcast as well as be a partner with you in your business. We really like what you guys do. Look, and I'm glad you asked this question because very often one keeps forgetting to reflect back. I think if I have to kind of think through at least my career and maybe look at organizational building and people through that. Uh, First of all, I'm blessed because my first boss took a punt on me. Okay. And very early in my few months into Bank of America, he said, he told me two things which actually have stood with me for the rest of my professional career. He says, as supervisor boss, you make one decision, which is to hire. Okay. And if you have to make the second decision, then your first decision is wrong. And there's a lot of, I didn't understand it at all, frankly. I thought it was a nice, whip by somebody very senior. But over the years, I've learned that, and, and sometimes I just keep remembering it and it's become part of me. And I'm just going to use this as a reference to share with you. Fact is, as supervisors, bosses, you know, uh, part of your part of your agenda is to set the tone of your unit, of the organization, capital allocation, kya karna hai, kya nahi karna, strategy. I mean, all those things go with the flow. The unsaid part is you got to create an organization, a team, a set of people who get hugely enthused by what you set out to do, who actually pick up the mantle and build it further. Uh, and you stay as a friend, partner, mentor, somebody like a conductor. Okay. And, I'm also inspired by some of these things I've seen of conductors conducting very famous pieces of opera or Western classical. Uh, and your role really becomes to ensure that there is a harmony. At the same time, you bring out individual elements extremely sharply. And I think I was blessed because my first boss did that. And then, if I had some quirky ideas, he would listen. Actually, today, Amit, the tragedy or what I feel very pained about, we don't have the time to do all these things. We are so rushed that we don't have time to sit down and have a free flowing chat. And perhaps, when things were very tough, we didn't have social media or mobile phones. We had to have a chat. And, going on client meetings in his car while he was driving, was the best, education I could have ever had in banking because you could just ask questions. And then I think to me, these things are the most critical in building a team or an organization. And therefore, what I do and what I've learned is that don't respect seniority, respect attitude, respect agency. I love the word agency. I picked it up a few years back. I mean, agency is really that are you pained or excited to see something either which is misplaced or which you can pick it up? Okay, that's agency for me. an agency can happen for anybody, a youngster or a very senior person who's very experienced. So I actually started experimenting it because people did that to me and I enjoyed it. So in my career, I've done almost like 10, 15 stints of different kinds: corporate banking operations, setting up the part of the setup of the treasury in BOA. Then I quit to head Bankers Trust, India fledgling operations. Then uh, got I got dunked into the technology world because we bought Alex Brown, and then I started learning technology investment banking. Then, so one thing led to the other, and that has, if I have to remember, all those experiences and their essence is what helped me in RBL Bank. And RBL Bank has been so unlike anything which I've done ever in my career. I mean, I never looked at how to set up systems, how to work with different kinds of people, because mostly our professional setup was all about working with people equivalent to your education, your other background. I think the fact that you could work with a diverse set of people and also test them out. So I always think about, या अगर मुझे प्रोजेक्ट करवाना है, कोई आइडिया है मन में, whom do I give it to? Typically, you go and call the next one down or the next one down. I call the youngest person directly, whom I probably met. I said, what do you think about it? Okay. And you, more often than not, the guy will come up with some very, very interesting takes on it. And that's what excites me. So part of our job is to find these people, give them the momentum push, and then do a review. When I mean a review, is not a review like up, 10 पन्नों का you have a feedback and all. Sit across the table, have a cup of tea, but बताओ क्या हो रहा है? How tell me what you're doing. What are you learning? You see, and that has helped me immensely. I mean, I look back and if I think about the first 10, 15 years of my career, this was what was. Then I could not like, summarize it so well. But when I look back for the last 15, 20 years, I think this is what's helped me. And along the way, I think, I also picked up, if you solve one small or big problem every day, attempt to solve it. Don't aim for like, this is like the mega project, because mega project gets drowned. Solve one problem every day and be at it. The other thing I picked up in the last 15, 20 years is velocity of decision making. You see, fact is not the fact that outside the world has become faster, but velocity of internal decision making is extremely important. Otherwise, we can just lose the plot. Okay, and sometimes I get really hassled when we are just agonizing over things. I'm not saying you take a wrong call, but sometimes what happens, we over analyze, over committees, and that becomes a bureaucracy. So solving a problem every day and figuring out who can solve a problem and not caring about the seniority. So there's one couple of sentences of Sam Altman I read 10, 12 years ago, which was just mind blowing. He says, don't hire for uh, intercept, hire for you know incline, or hire for your at the speed at which you can grow. So intercept क्या है? मेरे पास 30 साल का experience है. You have to respect me, boss. That is yesterday's experience. That is the intercept. But if you hire for the the incline or the rate of change, that I think is a super thing, especially in today's world, Amit, where actually people have to combine several data points, several conversations, and come up with fantastic things. And India is a case in point. You guys are case in point, frankly. So I think those are things which have helped me take it up. And obviously the usual stuff, you know, criticize in private, praise in public. ये तो लाजमी है. I mean, if any boss does the opposite, the guy should be sacked. Okay, or I don't think the guy can go higher. And then I think in times of crisis, how and we've had a couple of them in our own 15 years. How do you lead from the front? When I say lead from the front, how vulnerability, authenticity, which I now everybody talks about it, are extremely important because people can see through your bullshit. They are more well informed than what you think they are. So if you start bullshitting, People know, yaar, ye to banda nahi kar payega. And then you co-opt them during that process. So, I mean, this is all, frankly, I believe that knowledge work, which is what we do. And frankly, if I might just add, I'm doing a lot of reading on AI and the impact on professionals like us. So while I think there's a lot of doomsday around AI and, ye hoga, wo hoga, hoga. Like anything, part of our tasks will get rolled into the machine, which can do it far better. I mean, especially assimilating, synthesizing, parsing, gap analysis of information. I mean, 60-70% of our daily work is information management. I think over and above that, being human, which is what I talked about, trade-off, judgment, empathy, mentoring, uh, how do you take a decision with less information than perfect? These are things which should be accentuated. And therefore, I think the guys who will do a good job are people who can leverage AI, but have the human, inside of them, and the person who can build teams, okay, and create future leaders. So one of my KRAs for all of my people who work along with me says, have you created another ABC? Okay. So if your name is Amit, how many more Amits are you creating? Okay. And that, in my sense, is actually will excite you. Okay. If I were to tell you, or if I were to tell somebody else, that means that my boss thinks so highly of me that he wants me to create many more like me. Okay. So this has a double effect on the person you're talking to and the people who work along with this guy. Anyway, these have kind of worked for me. I mean, obviously one learns and adapts as time goes by, but that's broadly it. Yeah.
So I think very interesting. Couple of things from my perspective that I take away from this message of yours is, lot of things in your career are owed to when you are at an impressionable age of your life, and what career choices you made, what kind of bosses you had, and that reflects in your journey largely. I think large part of you is attributed to the first person who mentored you at that time, and that reflects in the way you think, the way you process. I think that's very, very important and imperative, and not everybody is so lucky as you are. So that's the first point. Second was what I velocity of decision making. I think that's very, very important and very, very crucial. And third, which I really liked, is that hardly people see, in terms of free flowing conversation. So I write a lot, and there is a line of mine which resonates with this, which says that कभी बैठो तो साथ में, कभी बैठो तो साथ में, जब तुम हो और हम हो. Right. So that kind of empathy, that kind of humanness is very, very important if you want to really build strong careers, if you want to build strong organizations. So I'm glad that you pointed these out. I'll move to next question, which is on RBL. RBL, I've been witnessing RBL for almost a decade now, and very closely from a lot of quarters that I have been working on. And the growth has been phenomenal in a lot many ways. I think fintechs love you for a lot of reasons, right? What is the growth journey like in the next 5 years? And especially because the banking sector is evolving so much, and every day there are a lot of things which are coming. So, how does RBL, and also how does RBL plan in terms of leveraging the technology? Because customer experience is one area which is the most critical bit for any organization to succeed. So, I think two parts to it. I think one was evolution of banking sector, and second is how are you leveraging technology? Yeah, over to you.
Two, three things, Amit, and I mean, and all of them is the mix of good learnings and not so good. I mean, learnings are always good, but क्या आपने गलत किया है, क्या सही था उस ज़माने में जब किया था? I think the two, three things. One is, I think what do you want to do with whom and why is a function of many things. We are a mid-sized bank. We're not a large bank where our cost of funds, our cost of operations, brand is very well established. So you need to just respect that, be humble about it, and therefore pick and choose where you can play a differentiated role. Okay. Actually, if you ask me, this struck me 4 years into starting of RBL, 2014. We had been doing a lot of things and reasonable well, and it just struck me, yaar, India's, it's about 2014. India's changing, and I mean, again, I didn't know it was changing. But I start seeing Amazon, Paytm, Flipkart, you know, Big Basket, Book My Show. And I just asked people, hey, what is happening? And, then I reached out to my earlier experiences in .com in Asia and China. That was where I took some companies public. So I started thinking, yeah, there is some change happening in the environment. We don't have the DNA for being driving this change like Amazon or Paytm. In here, we have the very flexible capital structure investors. How about us partnering with these guys and learning vicariously? And usame, we just put up a technology platform. So we had this middleware called API Stack. And, we were one of the earliest ones along with Yes Bank who started talking to young companies about API banking. And I think all of them said, wow, no banker has come and spoken because they don't think we exist. But, for us, it was fantastic because these guys gave us the edge and the sharpness. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is that that 10 years ago, the start of that conversation has led to a significant business for us. We partner with you. We partner with maybe like 50, 70 companies, both in the financial services, non-financial services. Our credit card business has grown like a partnership business. And I think to us, whatever be the capital allocation portfolio structure we decide, some of those things we will end up doing near full stack, just to borrow a word of what you guys use as tech. But a lot of those things will actually be a combo. And you don't know when the combo shifts. So, for instance, you guys do a fantastic job of working with a variety of companies. Now, we don't have the same wherewithal as you or sharpness of understanding. We were doing 50 things all at once. And you don't have the infrastructure or the licensing or the comfort and confidence you want to give to your partners कि आपका पैसा safe है, bank के through जा रहा है. So that's where we come in. And therefore, we've learned with stuff what you guys have done. And hopefully, we've been able to give you a strong back end on how to do things. So that, in my view, partnerships as an essence. So more than technology, Amit. See, technology sabke paas wahi hai. I mean, let me be honest. I don't think anybody has anything which is a rocket science. It's how you use the technology to solving a customer expectation or a problem. And to me, the multiplier on that is how do I work with partners to actually amplify my impact in the market. So today, we do payments which are perhaps, 100 times more than our own balance sheet should, you know, require us to do. Because, not all the payments I do are my own customers. I do it for you, I do it for 50 others. And then through them, I'm learning so many new things through which we built new businesses. So the other thing is once you work with partners, okay, you figure out, yeah, these customers come to this partner because of the product experience, which a generic bank or an NBFC cannot provide. But uske baad kya? Okay, and so a lot of partners come to us. Ye to ho gaya. What about co-creating a few other things for our partners? And which is how credit cards started. Our lending business in certain segments started. So I would say that if we have to be competitive in the next 5-10 years, and see, India is a well-discovered market. Profit pools do not grow. They probably grow 10, 12% unless you are really bringing in a large section of people who are traditionally unbanked into it. Also, let's not forget, we have a lot of public utilities protocols like UPI, IMPS, account aggregator, which made life very easy. But they also mean the value of arbitrage just goes out of the window. So, everybody has the same access. So for us, it's to bring down the price points, the cost per unit served as low as possible, which includes customer acquisition cost, the infrastructure cost, processing cost, recon cost. How do you keep bringing it down? Because the moment so today we deal with volumes which are like 1,000x of what we started 10 years ago. Okay, I haven't increased my infrastructure of people 1,000 times. Okay, and leveraging these things and leveraging partners, we've done it. Now, if we stop thinking of our business as a constellation of some things which are near full stack, some things which are there. And I frankly don't think anything in India is full stack. You can say I own everything. Your customer decides what she or he wants to do for that particular transaction. Okay. So I think this is a very core philosophy. So whatever we do in the next 5 years, okay, technology is table stakes. So you cannot. So I'll also tell you where we screw up on technology. We go for the shiniest new things because it's like, whoever got fired for hiring IBM, okay, just as a name. So we go for shiniest new things. So that also we started correcting over the last 2 years. So we consolidated a lot of technology because, frankly, technology debt in banks is now happening at faster cycles than earlier. I mean, earlier 10, 12 years you had to refresh. Now you got to refresh every 3, 5 years. And frankly, vendor, amazing vendors, but vendor lock-in is also a problem. Okay, in many areas you do. So I think if you can get your technology, the core consolidated, and one of the learnings I've had is, create a systems of record, which is the core banking of various types. Usme accrual hota hai, NPA hota hai, record keeping, and systems of insights and intelligence, which is where your decision making, customer engagement, risk, okay, where you need to mash up data, you have to have a customer engagement platform, your partners need to work with you. That should increasingly be built in house, and which is where now I believe a lot of, I mean, throwing some technical jargon. I have no personal knowledge, but I know my colleagues do it, low code, no code, and leveraging the modern approaches of AI. And frankly, we're doing a lot of stuff. So all I'm saying is you got to get that right. If you don't get it right, you will not be able to survive because the costs will come down because customer attrition is very high and retention is very tough for everybody. I think once you are able to achieve that, how do you bring an internal consistency into your business? And in the financial services business, if the customer does not buy the second, third, fourth product from you, okay, on the same cost structure, you'll never make money. Okay. I am assuming that we don't want to go and lend crazily to everybody, which is also a problem. So I think outside of strategy, the portfolio structure, what do you want to do? I think those are all relevant questions. If I can get my technology at the core sorted out and keep internalizing. So we started hiring a lot of youngsters for the last 5 years. I mean, our expectation, internal objective is from a 30% in-house, loosely called. We want to get to a 70% in-house in the next 3 years. When I say that, it also means that, I can stabilize so we were the earliest users of cloud. We consolidated cloud. I think I would hope that we will undo many of our, off-the-shelf mega softwares in the next 3 years and do a lot of things ourselves, especially where I don't have to touch the core. The core, we built our own data platform. So if you don't have your data, I'm sorry, I'm going into a little bit of more detail, but I think to me, you sort that out, you figure out the areas you want to do business in. More importantly, Amit, is your entire approach to getting things off the ground quickly. Because today, every customer, especially the business you're doing it, they want consistency. They want like almost 0.0001 error. Okay. And they want insights, dashboard. And obviously, India is getting more and more interesting. You have a gift city, many use cases are coming. So how do you keep evolving with that? And frankly, not all things we know. So I would say that as a matter of banks, there are things which move very slowly. Branches move slowly, branch investment moves slowly, people move slowly. But how do you build a better sense of intelligence to, leverage this? Because in a bank, you still need branches, you still need people because people will not put deposits otherwise, okay, large deposits. So I think those are things we battle with. And I think in the meanwhile, you also have to avoid obvious issues in India, which we are a market where things go awry once in 2, 3 years. You gotta have a portfolio structure which can take that much of knock. But those are things, I believe the costs cost income or cost per assets is only going to get harder, worse and worse because of attrition, because of real costs are rising. HR attrition is high, customer attrition is high. So you need to figure out how to build more operating leverage. So I have not yet seen any traditional bank or NBFC which works like a tech company. I mean, sorry, I'm using a very different. We all want to say we are tech, but when I say a tech or a digital, क्या यार आपने let's say 100 crore invest किया है, okay, fixed cost, and then your revenue curve is like a rocket. Once you have product market fit, okay, with a 100 crore is like your fixed cost and your operating leverage is high. Banking businesses में operating leverage बहुत मुश्किल है because we are wired up very differently. So one of the unsaid endeavors is how do you bring operating leverage? So either you simplify your tech and work with partners and pick up stuff. So our payments business, our operating leverage is massive. Like I said, we haven't really invested a lot in the back end. We've done more around services recon. So these are things which are interesting for a bank size because frankly, if we were very large, we would not bother and that would be a problem in 10 years' time.
All right. Thank you so much for this. I'll move to the next question, Rajiv. And that's one debate, I would say, or one conversation which has been doing rounds is more on how do you maintain a balance between innovation and regulation, right? So that's one thing which has been doing rounds. I think last 10 years, last decade, we have seen phenomenal growth in terms of where digital payments have shaped up. This has also raised few problems, which remains to be answered as we move forward. And of course, regulators also are playing a very important role in addressing those problems. So how do we balance? Because both of these and being a seasoned person from financial services industry, how do you think what should we do to enable more?
Yeah, so Amit, I used to also think of regulation innovation as binary issues. Like if there is more regulation, there's no innovation. There's more innovation, then we are irregular, if I were to use that adjective. But I have learned the last 10 years that's actually not the case. See, ultimately we are custodians of people's money, payments, okay, deposits. So there is a certain expectation of all of us, including you. Yeah. कि भाई customer service, fairness, transparency, uh, you know, processing capability, literally error free, suitability, very important because a lot of times we end up doing stuff which may not be suitable. So one of the learnings I've had is that at the end of the day, if you do something and if it hits the papers and you'll feel embarrassed about it, then don't do it. Okay, because the 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 second order costs on the rest of your business is huge. I think outside of specifics, these are very simple principles. Now the trick is that we've been through the same journey as many fintechs, and I know that in 2014 when we opened up our doors and hearts, we got like hundreds of them. Over 3-4 years working with some of them, we realized कि इनका stamina कितना है. बैंक का stamina तो बहुत होना चाहिए, otherwise we'll get jacked. And we were sensing that the regulators are actually becoming a little nervous about the unbridled, businesses happening where they could not. And the more recent regulations starting 2021 actually were being debated well before that. So we started asking tough questions of ourselves first. कि यार, कल को, can you say that you have control over the process? So being a regulated entity, you have access to customer data and money. In your business, you cannot be holding customers' money because that will put you in a very different matter altogether. I think it is as simple as that, and then you start internalizing. I can tell you, 2018 we started tightening the screws, okay, literally, and I had a lot of backlash. People who used to love us started saying, "You guys are getting too big for your boots. We'll go to this bank, this bank, this bank." But in some senses, we took the knock. We tightened ourselves because we had one or two incidents, and we were felt a little that is controlled karna. And I think in retrospect, We did it at the right time. And today, I can tell you this is the most scalable part of our business. The regulatory, I don't call it the regulatory, I say the basic principles of doing business, which is what RBI and SEBI also mandate or Aadhaar mandate. The basic principles of doing business are what I discussed with you. And I think if you've seen the RBI regulations, they are one by one, they are achieving what they have to achieve. And frankly, they are saying if you want to be in the business of offering any kind of service which holds customers money or invest, please come on the regulatory tent, because we are not a nation where you can have unbridled. So a pure app uh, was fantastic 10 years ago because it was novel. It was, unique. आज dime a dozen apps हैं, or fact is an app does not make a business model. So a business model is resilience, BCP, recon, suitability, agreements. And I think the more we industrialize it and talk to our partners early on. So we also have built internal processes to make sure that this happens. I'm not saying those are like very smooth. Also, we learn along the way, and we got a product approval committee. We discuss every aspect around it, including now DPDP. By the way, so DPDP was never a discussion point. So, I've noticed that after 6 months of Maramari, we become better at it. We are like saying we are faster. Okay. And now we take a little bit more weight and saying, boss, your bank up service hai. We cannot just be very frivolous about it. So karo to puri mehnat se karo and ensure that even if you make mistakes, they are contained. And you see, also we've started, obviously RBI and us, we are all doing sandboxes. So we've also done private sandboxes. RBI does sandboxes so that we can contain and then be very clear on the risk on the sandbox so that you will and document that risk. And then there are obviously many committees for these things. So I would say, Amit, I'm actually very glad that, this regulation, innovation is proceeding apace. Otherwise, your and my life would become hell if we have thousands of people who are not adhering to it, because the trust in Costler, trust as a service, would get knocked off. Okay. I think in my view, this is very important. It's now our DNA. We debated. 5 years ago, there was this kind of, animosity, तू मैं कि यार ये तो हमेशा ना बोलते हैं. It is a lot more constructive because now you also realize that long term the reputation, the sustenance of this business, if it done right, it's very good. And sometimes you exit a business, frankly, because you cannot. We've exited many payment business because you could not control the end outcome which we would have wanted. No, it's a loss of business. It's okay, but at least you're very clear that you don't have the wherewithal to do it. So I mean, there is never an easy answer, but I think I'm less fussed about it today than I was 5, 6 years ago.
Got it. So with this, I'll move to the next question. So that is around transaction banking. And a lot of fintechs in the past, I think they have worked on multiple models. I think cut to 2020 onwards, transaction banking as the space, it saw a lot of fintechs evolving in this ecosystem, and especially with offerings around escrow and current account. So how do you see the future and how does it hold from your perspective?
So 2018-19 में, I was talking to a few CFOs on the wholesale banking side. So I said, yeah, what do you guys want? He said, when I do my personal banking or Uber or PhonePe, my consumer experience is fabulous. Why can't I have a similar experience for my business purposes, whether I'm an SME or I'm a large corporate or I'm an NBFC? I think, to me, if you look at it, the consumer side is the one which is visible to the external world, which is where the IPOs happen. And that, I think there is pretty much now a maturity curve there. In the enterprise space, when I say enterprise, largely any kind of enterprise where there is a little bit of a non-consumer oriented. Okay. I think that the last 3-4 years, and you guys studying at the forefront of this, has become very vital. Now, there are two reasons in my view. One is the customer pull. Customers want it. Okay. COVID actually made it even more critical because people who hadn't electronified either their distributor systems or their vendor systems, suffered a hell of a lot. Okay. And so that became an imperative. So amount of digitization I've seen in the enterprise space since then has been fabulous. And again, this is over and above payment gateway laga diya, ye laga diya. I think then people are started saying, what is the specific use case I want? Now think about it. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, I interact with my buyers, sellers. I'm selling assets, buying assets, selling companies, buying businesses. Since then has been fabulous. And again, this is over and above payment gateway laga diya, ye laga diya. I think then people are started saying, what is the specific use case I want? Now think about it. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, I interact with my buyers, sellers. I'm selling assets, buying assets, selling companies, buying businesses. I'm spending money and holding it somewhere in anticipation of fulfillment. This is what an enterprise life is. And I think, let me be honest, banks have done traditionally a good job. Okay. But that was a traditional structure where we were very laborious about it. We were this thing. I think today the market needs a lot more, which is where people like yourselves have actually made a significant contribution to actually helping enterprises get to where they want. So it's very use case determined, very industry determined, and I think it'll be one of the things where the bank and the partners will work very closely. I see huge opportunities because now you start adding Gift City, international, uh, you know, trade, capital account. I mean, amazing number of applications. और उसके लिए actually RERA was just a small start 10 years ago. Okay, and that also was a little laborious the way we did it. But today you need specialized current account, and more than so, there is control of the proceeds. When do you use the proceeds for what purpose? Very important, and a lot of that also has to be electronically driven now. You can't have 5 people sitting down. Abhi check aayega, kaatenge isko. The second thing is offering insights and intelligence to your partners. What is happening? Okay, a finance function and maybe more optimized from a cost perspective. Or I have 15 factories.
Rajiv, we'll opt you for 10-15 seconds in between. There was
I was saying that for an enterprise, uh, they need a lot more control, maybe at the head office. They have 15 factories. See, also GST has made things a lot more. People are saying, boss, GST ho sakta hai, bank kyun nahi kar sakte? I mean, let's face it, we are laggards that way. There's people like you who are forcing us. At custodians is a phenomenal opportunity. Again, banks don't play a large role because they can't bring the level of attention and knowledge to specific situations unless they become so large and so industrialized that banks will get in because of regulations or confidence or scale. You guys work with NBFCs, real estate, law firms, the entire bankruptcy proceeds management, big opportunity. I mean, if that becomes a regular feature of India, which it should, it's a big opportunity to electronify it because the trust factor there, is missing. Yeah, मैंने खरीदा asset, but in what waterfall does it go? Who controls the waterfall? What are the ways to recon it? I think it's a fabulous opportunity, and that's why you and your approach makes a huge difference.
Thank you, Rajiv, for your kind words. With this, I think the set of questions have almost we have done with it. So I think this is something which is purely non-professional, and I'll take the liberty to ask you this: outside of work, who is Mr. Ahuja? Now, what are you passionate about? What are the things that you want to do outside of work? So one thing I'm sure I
So
could give. that you read a lot. Apart from that, if you could throw some light in your personal perspectives, yeah.
I do, and you know, I mean, reading is a huge part of my thing. I also, I mean, I'm like, you know, I mean, part of me is has become very hungry for new things. So whether it's reading or meeting exciting people, or so आजकल मैं trying to learn Python, okay, because I believe, you know, it's the language of AI, and I need to know what is happening there. So these are things which excite me. I mean, obviously, one has their own, you know, side hobby. Avid theater. I mean, I should do theater that I haven't done for years. Maybe, you know, it's time to allocate some time for that. So, I mean, all of these things, you know, but I think the world of business excites me, especially the world of young businesses, because I think the एक तो पता लगता है कि आपने क्या mistakes किए. Okay, so you can go and tell them, please don't repeat what we've done. Plus, I think today's Janta, the youngsters, are just amazingly, you know, I mean, sharp. And you think that you've seen it all. Frankly, the fact that you've seen it all, you're not fit to do the new things. So when I see some of the new stuff happening, I mean, I get very, very curious and I start asking questions on iski scalability kya hai, unit economics kya hai, what if it happens? You know, sometimes when you pick up these nuances, it's good to then go and repeat it elsewhere, you know. So, but those things excite me. So, which is also part of gathering information, reading, assimilating, you know, building your own thought process. And I like to do a lot of work with teams on pulling them out of their kind of, you know, mind stasis, so to speak. And because what I believe in, okay, I can just share the same thing. So I do a lot of that within the bank and outside with friends who call, yeah, come and share your experiences, and you know, just sit down and chat about things. So those things I love.
Thank you so much. I think I'm, reminded of Javed Saab's line, which he used in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, which says that "वो में हैरानियां लेकर चल रहे हो तुम, इसलिए जिंदा हो तुम." So curiosity is, I think, the most important aspect.
Believe me, I mean, again, you know, it's the only thing, and obviously being generally nice to people, honest, that goes without saying. If I'll repeat, if you have to counter AI, not counter, deal with an AI driven world which will take a lot of your tasks away, this is the only thing which will survive. Empathy, curiosity, connecting the dots, judgment, mentoring. These is what, so I call it, I've borrowed a phrase of, actually, it's the line of clothing of Salman Khan, being human. So, you know, being human actually is more important, frankly, now. The rest of the stuff the machine takes care of, hopefully, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rajiv. And I'll close with this, to the body of work that you've done. मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल मगर लोग साथ आते गए और कारवां बन गया.
Karma Saga. Chaliye. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
I
much.
also love Shairi, and but I'm going to pick it up because I don't remember many shares when the need arises, but I'll pick it up. You're doing a good job of that.
Thank
Chalo.
you, sir.
See
Thank you
you,
so
Amit.
much
Take
for your
care.
time.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.